West Virginia, adverse to Virginia, adverse to Maryland, adverse to D.C., Kentucky, as we go around, like, if you stay within like a 2 to 3 hour drive of D.C., it's different. But, for instance, where you're at, LT, do you find it harder? Do you find it more difficult, or is like for myself, I like the fact that I have the perspective in my network of Miss Music, who lives in a completely different region and deals with a completely different caliber and type of artists and industry folks. And I think it's like the same for up here for her. It's like, okay, well, what's it like if I want to send artists up to the DMV to tour in that region? What should I expect? And vice versa. Is that something for you that you experience in your position, or was it more or less like you having the knowledge of what would be successful and kind of locking in and then allowing other people in?
Well, it's a good mixture of both. I was always taught just by my mentor to never limit yourself or be one-track minded or think that, like, hey, whatever is going on here in my city is the world or is the whole nation, because that's not how it works. But no, we put emphasis actually on my company as nationally. We put emphasis on being diverse as far as state to state, region to region, area to area, and even some in different countries like Canada and on out, and Europe countries as well. But no, I feel like, yes, we should collaborate more, and artists should not think that, hey, this is it. We should definitely expand with other artists. And in my company, that's what we aim to do. We expand artists from being, if they say, hey, I'm local, I have local shows, or I'm on the radio here, or I know a lot of people here in the DMV area, because I do have artists up there as well, and they want to expand. So we actually did an event last year in North Carolina, and they flew out there. I had artists from Texas, even Louisiana, where Kid is from, the artist you'll speak with today, Atlanta, just different places, Virginia Beach as well, on out to L.A. and things like that. So we know we put emphasis on, hey, you need to see what's going on in these different regions, because every region has benefits, has good points about it. And that even goes back into the history of hip-hop with such artists like Mr. Tupac Shakur, who was born in New York up there and then moved all around the United States and got out to the West Coast, and he was able to convey things and just see things and move in a way that, hey, we all relate to it. So the more you expand and the more you do speak with people from different regions like yourself and Miss Music and Kid and myself, then it can only better you, and that's what we aim to do with 8 a.m. Exposure for sure.
Well, see, that happened again. The artist Kid that he's speaking about from down in, I like to say Louisiana. I got people in Louisiana, Miss Music. I was there too, right? I gotta give a big shout out to
artists in your town. So that means when you do your events, you need to hit him up and get his artists to come perform at your gigs in the area.
Most definitely.
You know what I mean? See, that's the connection you just made.
I do like you do. You know what I'm saying? I gotta hear that music. You know what I'm talking about? But we're having some Louisiana fam on this evening. You know what I'm saying? I gotta give a shout out to my people down there in Fort Polk. You know what I'm saying? I'm on Trees Polk. That's my good catfishing and crawdad fishing spot down there. I like to go down there. Trees Polk, that is. But anywho, good.
You ain't never lied. Oh, tell me he got. Oh, I don't know. It sounds like he may have gotten booted. So I wanted to know, since you have brought out C. Reed and you've brought out your other artist, Kid, I think he probably got knocked off. He'll get back on. But anyway, since you've brought out these two, how have their careers advanced?
Oh, man, and I'll let, when we speak to him, I'll let Kid as well and C. Reed mention that. But, I mean, because I'm very humble, of course, I put God first over everything, and within everything I do, I don't know about different other people's thoughts and things like that. But, of course, within my company, I know that it was just the higher power, higher force that connected us, because nothing happens by chance or by mistake or anything like that. So, of course, with the Kid and C. Reed and the other 14 to 15 clients, it all relies on the work that they put in. And I tell them from day one, hey, I cannot get you a record deal or anything like that. You can get that, but I can put you in position where you can definitely get a record deal and change your life or get whatever you want. As some of our artists have even gotten certain deals and certain things with major labels or independent or very large and different companies and filming, movies, technology, everything. So, yes, their careers have drastically changed, the ones who were put in the work, especially Mr. Kid. For sure.
Well, go ahead.
I had a question. It's for LTM for you as well, Miss Music. When it comes to the services that you provide, like how I know how Miss Music does. I know the amount of time and effort that she puts in with the artist that in any aspect of her businesses, be it her videography, studio, creating music, anything, she goes 1,000% in. And I would assume that you do the same for your artists, but there's the important part of how do you screen the artists that you accept to work with, because I can walk in with I can meet you and be an artist that has a budget of like $10,000 a month, but my content is horrible, my personality is trash, and I can't take direction, and I swear I already made it.
Well, with me, just to give a straightforward answer, is I with you on a high level until definitely we get that fixed or get that direction where you want it to go. Because yes, of course, we do everything fairly and accurately. But to me, it's not even about the money. It's about the name. It's about the reputation, and it's about the results. So I like to definitely surround or bring in and be around people who actually want to work or who actually have been striving to get better. Now, I understand that, hey, every artist is not going to be the next rising star, like you said, Cardi B or Justin or Tupac or, everybody's not made to be that. We all are different, on this earth. But, if you're definitely putting in work, even if it may not be, and I may make a suggestion, hey, it may not be in front of the mic, you may be better at this or this portion to rise up, like as far as a writer or a hype person or someone who does the organization or maybe even production or just in the event planning. There's so many positions within this great industry, entertainment industry, that people can do. We get too caught on sometimes, hey, I got a microphone. I got to be the first person on the stage. And that's not what I teach because I've seen it. And I see some of the most successful people, they start off boy or the roadie or the someone like that, and then they elevate into, like you said, higher positions like tour manager, road manager, executive producers, things like that, even A&Rs. So that may be a field. So it's a field for everyone as long as you're willing to put the work in with me.
Miss Music, how do you select artists that you work with?
It's hard to work with artists that are like that. And it's true what he says. A lot of artists, like,
They did receive it. It was kind of hard at first because they said that you had got, you had taken it from your server. It was kind of hard, but the young lady said she got it.
And it's just like, you just shake your head sometimes. And when you get artists that are like that and they're so set in their ways that they think they know everything, it's just really hard to deal with them. And honestly, I don't even want to deal with them either. I want to deal with somebody that's more like a sponge, is ready to absorb and ready to be critiqued and ready to be told how they can even be better than they are by people that are actually accredited in the industry. But, them just feeding off of what other people do, they don't understand. They're not these other people. They don't have the promotions behind them like that. Cardi B was on the TV show. I mean, not saying that she wasn't popping before, but that TV show got her a lot of promotion. And that put her probably in the place that she's at right now because of that exposure. But you can't just do it the way everybody does it. It don't work like that. It just, sometimes people just get lucky, and she just happened to get lucky. But they need to have the work in there. They have to be open to listen. They have to be open to learn. They need to be, you got to grow in this industry. And if there ain't no growing, ain't nobody going to mess with you, and ain't nobody going to try to plant a seed with you either. Because your dirt is just soil. It's not fruitful. It's just dirt. You know what I mean? It's like And you don't want to. You'll do that in the industry when you got other people that are like, teach me everything you know. Okay, you know, I mean, I got people that hit me up and tell me, look, I got a lot of songs, but I don't know which one to push. And I'm like, man, send them to my email, and I'll let you know which one you need to push. That's the type of artist I want to work with. But the other type of artists that are out there and think they know it, and, you know, it's all good. I just kind of let them go along, and, you know, years go by, and they're still sitting where they are. So, you know, you can't do what everybody else does. I mean, you can learn from people. You can research it. You can find out how they did it. But there is no guarantee that's going to happen with you. And if you don't invest the work into it and the time into it, like you said, ain't nobody going to want to, they're not going to want to mess with you. That's why they take a lot of these young artists now, because they're not set in their ways. They can still be molded, crafted, and they can be put in whatever genre they want to put them in. But it's just, you know, it's just hard to work with people that have a block up, you know, especially in this industry. You can't have any blocks in this industry. You got to be open to do everything this industry requires you to do.
But I spit hot fire.
Say it again?
But I spit hot fire, Miss Music. I have to be famous. I am the best.
Tell me, I just need a break.
Have you not seen my Facebook Live videos? I am on fire. I got 10 views yesterday.
I know, and it's crazy, but, you know, I mean, that's what you think, you spit fire, but when you start getting around these music industry big heads and they listen to your music, man, they gonna be like, what's his name? From what is that show? What is that daggum dude's name on the damn?
Making the band.
No, the Simon. You know what I'm saying? You go out there in the industry, I swear to God, you're gonna be hitting a Simon probably 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times just off bat. And you know how raw Simon is. You know, you suck, goodbye, you know. And they don't have no hesitation to tell you it in the business. So a lot of people think their stuff is fire, and some of them are, and some of them aren't. But, you know, everybody.
So while we on this topic, while we on this topic of music, I want you to break in. I want LT to break in while we're talking about choosing artists to work with and our positions and what we do and what you all do in the media groups. But, you know what I'm saying, me, what I do, you know what I'm saying, that hip-hop advocate, you know, I'm all about the culture, you know what I'm saying. I know Miss Music love the music and everything, but LT, we're talking about how you select artists. Why don't you introduce the artists that you have with the kid?
Oh, definitely. It'll be my pleasure. And I know Miss Music, and you all have heard his music, that down south, southern Louisiana music, and it's definitely hot, like you said, but we'll let it speak for itself when it plays. So I definitely want to give a big hand to Mr. KYD Kid, all the way from DeQuincy, Louisiana. Kid.
I'm here. I had to do it for a minute. My bad. Let y'all see y'all here.
Anticipation.
Kid. We doing good. Thank you for coming on the show today.
Appreciate y'all letting me be here.
Why don't you go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Well, you know, my name's Kid. I'm from DeQuincy, Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? I lived a lot of places. I was a military kid, you heard me. Been doing this music thing since a young, really about, you know, middle school, just playing around and started taking it serious about a year ago. Started professionally putting it out, you know. And shout out to LT and Mrs. Barner. They helped me out with a lot of the stuff. He taught me a lot of stuff, you know, mentoring me, teaching me things about the business, letting me know, you know, can't do this, you have to do this, you know, certain things have to be handled a certain way. It's industry, it's not, you know, just your regular mom and pop type business. So, you know, that's basically what's going on. And I just dropped my album March 13th. It's lit. You can go get it on iTunes, Spotify, Deezer, SoundCloud, you know, things like that.
He said he's a military kid and he's been moved around a lot. So is Yogi. Yogi grew up like that too. So y'all have something.
Yeah.
You have different cultures, exposure, different music in different areas, exposure, people exposure. I mean, what's that like traveling around? I mean, we hear Yogi all the time. What's your stories of like that, going to different places living different places around different people with different types of music and stuff like that. How did you just stay structured all this time through all those moving and changes in the industry?
Really, as a kid, I always liked adventure. So to move to a new place, I was like, cool, new people I got to meet, new stuff about to learn. So I always try to take it with a positive attitude, and it was always fun. I lived in Florida, Brandon, Florida. It was nice. Got to, experience the Spanish culture, island culture as well. And really just lived out there, about 5-6 years in Alabama, Daphne, Alabama. Growing up there, I got to play football actually with some NFL players, DJ Yell and Ryan Anderson. Shout out to y'all. And moved back to Louisiana about that. So there was a lot of influence as far as the music and things in my life.
So you said you've been messing with it since like middle school, and then like just last year taking a serious approach to it. Like what made that timeline happen like that? Was it you just like sitting back and preparing, or was it like was the interest not there yet?
It was just music. It was always a part of it. Just I was always in the sport, track, football, basketball. So music was just always a hobby. And I ended up joining the military after I left high school. And I tried pretty much every job you could think of, as far as from carpenter, welder, plumber, you know what I'm saying, sales rep, waiter, all those kind of jobs I had done. All those just like, what have you tried? I was like, well, what came easy should be music, so I decided to give it a shot. And then, by the grace of God, he popped up at the exact time when I was trying to do everything, and from there, it's just been a ball rolling downhill.
So, real quick, excuse me, y'all. For everybody tuned in right now, just so y'all know, we got them bugs worked out. We're broadcasting live as well on WBOKRadio.com YouTube channel, so make sure y'all click on that. Y'all can hear the interview. If y'all aren't getting a good reception through your mobile and desktop devices, make sure y'all go to the YouTube page and y'all can be live on stream. Leave your comments. Say what you want to say to myself, Miss Music, to LT, and we got Kid on the line right now from Louisiana. Anyway, I apologize for the interruption, but as you were saying, sir.
Yeah, but that's about it. Music just really just been a part of my life. I was always like the hype man of the basketball team and the football team, so I was always coming up with different chants and stuff for us to get hype off of and things like that. So I said music just really been a part of my life.
So for me, I always musically lived everywhere. Lived everywhere, around a whole bunch of different cultures, been in a couple of different countries, all that. And for me, I'll always love West Coast music. I'll always love old school West Coast music. That's where I was born. You know what I'm saying? That was my first experiences socially and all. But I'll also always love my Texas slang. I'll also always love my Chi-Town. I'll always love some Common, some the Spitters up there, and I always love my down south. And then New York grew on me, but I'm old school New York, Wu-Tang and you know what I'm saying, even Pac when he was out of New York,
right.
That hit with me too. But for yourself, what's your favorite genre of hip hop? Your era, your genre that you like to listen to?
Shoot, I have to say from the 80s. No, I lie. I listen to a lot of music. You know what I'm saying? It's not really nothing in particular. I listen to Marvin Gaye. You know what I'm saying? Otis Redding, all the way up to Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, LL, Trick Daddy, Boosie, Wayne. You know what I'm saying? It's not really. I even listen to country sometimes, rock songs. Get inspiration from there, bring it to the hip hop world. You know what I'm saying? So it's really no genre. I just love music in general. If we got a good song, got a good beat, good chorus, good feel, I listen to it.
Huh. So Miss Music, you know he got some music for you, right?
I sure do, and I can't wait to play it. So definitely hook it up.
I don't know, this song called Whoa Now. What's that? What's up with Whoa Now?
Man, I heard you say something about Shreveport, Louisiana. So Whoa. Whoa, now, that's universal. how we do it, you know what I'm saying? Whoa, now, that's like, well, now, what's up? You see somebody, whoa, now, what's good? What's now? You know what I'm saying? See somebody walking down the street from a distance, you just say, whoa, now. When you say that, it's going to catch their attention every time.
It's a funny story, too, Yogi, real quick, in Miss Music. When we went out to L.A. to do the IES, the Independent Entertainment Summit, back in the end of 2017 in August, he performed that, and people started actually calling him that. They said, "What's up, Whoa Now? What's going on, Whoa Now?" They were calling him that. So that's real funny. But that's that slang, Louisiana.
All the way from the boot, baby.
Oh man, Miss Music, you wanna do the intro of this show?
No, I want the artist to do the intro to his own joint.
That's what I'm talking about. That's that love right there. That's that love right there.
Whoa, hey, man, this kid you heard me. This is Whoa Now. You heard me straight out of Louisiana. Go on,
difficulties with that jump. I think Mr. Mitchell over there trying to crank it too hard.
That bass,
we can't play it like that. We can't do you dirty like that. No, Mr. Mitchell over there trying to kill the speakers. He's like, hey, just go ahead and put your speakers on 10 now, and I'll start the track. You got people pulling over in traffic right now.
That's what boss gets for playing that earlier, right into it before the show.
Yeah, that joint cranked up. You know, blew people's stock speakers out their windows.
Hey, and that's one thing too, Yogi. That's what we aim to do right there too. So that actual production on that too, and I know it was probably turned up there at the studio, but the actual production is from one of our guys up north. Shout out Luke on the track for sure, for making that heavy bass. That's one thing we pride ourselves on, the sound of the music, quality of it, and just the overall feel of it. So that, go find it on iTunes. If you can't hear it now, you got a little sneak peek, build that anticipation. iTunes, KYD, Whoa Now, WOAHNAW, Whoa Now. Yes, sir.
Hey, look now, I'm gonna just go ahead and inform the people. Sometimes I'm gonna break it people so they understand a little bit more about Louisiana. Miss Music can testify on this, like the Southern culture in general, but in the Midwest, down in that Southern culture, the music isn't made for the Audis and the Porsches, and it's not necessarily made for the Range Rovers and for the Lexuses and all that. It's mainly for the box Chevys with the big trunks, the wide bodies, where you can feel now. I'm just speaking from what I seen when I was in Texas and Kansas and around all that, the trunks that can still fit 2 18s, 2 15s, and 2 10s in the back.
Yeah.
It is, you call them block shakers. You know what I'm talking about?
Sound like gorillas in the trunk.
Yeah, them trying to beat out the front. What they call when you beat the block down. Shout out Beat the Block too, y'all. I got them boys up there from Florida called Beat the Block Boys. That's how their music come off. That's how their music come off. Like they cool dudes. But then as soon as that track drop, everybody just grabs their attention.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man.
That's like talking to you. And that's the thing for me that was always like a draw with like I like to say like homegrown Southern artists, like artists that are from the South that like put their music out from the South and that's their natural decor. Is Southern people in general, Southern artists tend to be more laid back, chill. But then as soon as they track come on, you're like, where'd all that energy come from, man? That's you? You're like, yeah, man, I just be doing my thing. You're like, nah, bro, that's work right there.
You had a show today, kid. Tell them about your performance today, kid.
Oh yeah, I had a show today at the Railroad Festival in Quincy. You know, it comes around every year, and it was good. Everybody was putting my music. I did a song called "Party" that's on the album that you can get on Spotify, iTunes, or Tidal. You heard me? Called "Party." You feel me? That song is actually going to be put on a compilation album with indie entertainment in Hollywood. Actually, shout out to Mr. Jack. And I think at the moment, I think they have. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe they have a deal with Universal, a distribution deal with Universal, or whatever. So, hey, taking it as I get it, you heard me? So,
yes, sir.
Put in that work.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you something for everybody, right? Because I know how it is for myself and with music. We people have heard our ups, downs, and our motivators and things that have deflated us at times. But for yourself, for people like around you, saw you when you come up, when you start being more serious about pursuing entertainment and jumping out there, like their attitudes and some like, man, you ain't going, so now you go and try to blah blah blah. But what have been some of the biggest obstacles that you've seen, and some of the biggest ones that you've overcome to continue and keep your momentum going?
Really, I would say really the people around me are really supportive. You know what I'm saying? All my close friends, and they the ones who really told me to do this music thing, but not anybody can write a song and make a song and be catchy and everybody like it, So I was like, all right, bro, go with the move. I can try everything else. So, and obstacles really just, I don't know, obstacles, I just look at it, things going to happen. You're going to jump over them. You get knocked down, get back up again, brush yourself off, and keep pushing. So, really obstacles I only had is really to get my money right. But, shoot, I sell plate lunches in my hood, you feel me, before I do any event. And also, you know what I'm saying, just to do stuff for the neighborhood, you know what I'm saying. I like to, you know what I'm saying, cook for people, Food always puts a smile on people's face, so I always like doing that.
See, that's a Cajun thing. Cooking.
Yeah.
I can imagine you be learning some dishes in Louisiana, huh?
Well, hey, crawfish at your face, cheese.
You out there making some brew-house food.
Yeah. Hey, good, you heard me.
Oh, I know it's good. Trust me. My grandmother, my great grandmother, my great grandmother's from Meridian, Mississippi, and then she moved to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and had my grandma. So my grandma's straight out of Baton Rouge. So.
Oh, all right, man. Okay, DR. Oh yeah.
I want to see something real quick. Because I gotta hear this. I gotta let the people hear this. I want to try something real quick. Y'all bear with me for a second. I'm gonna do a quick sound check, see if I can get this Whoa Now playing. All right. Let's see how this goes real quick.
Yeah. You
out here, that we working. Hey. Every time I do it, I got that later. We got to get it right there. Every time I do it, I got to get it. Hey, look, y'all. Y'all gonna have to come and get this jump. Y'all gonna have to go to iTunes, SoundCloud, to this joint right here. I'm telling you the truth. You think I'm woke now?
No, nice guy. But 2019, oh, welcome to my name. Shout out to New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Lake Charles, Lafayette, Alexander, Shreveport, Monroe, you heard me? Your boy King, dude. And I'm taking over the every time I do it, I got the shit react. Oh, yeah. When I hit the shit like that, every time I do it, I got the shit react. Oh, yeah. When I hit the shit like that,
Y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready for Kid out of Louisiana, man. Y'all are not ready. Whoa, nah. What that mean?
Yeah, you know.
Oh.
Check out my sauce. Yeah.
That's that song.
Yeah. Look. Whoa, now.
That's gonna shake the pictures off the wall.
Yeah.
What you say now?
And two, you know, everybody. Well, and two, everybody too. You know, it is all available on Spotify, the free services as well. You can play it directly off of there. That great quality as well. Same product. It's called It's Lit. That's the product. It's Lit. It's Whoa Now. That's the song. And then you got Check Out My Sauce on those networks as well, platforms.
Man, you ain't supposed to see, kid. That's the problem. The problem is you can't make music that blows speakers out.
Man, look here, we like to pull up. We like to pull up on your block at least 5 blocks down from your house, but you know we on your block.
He make that music like you better have a
they got to call you and tell you, hey son, I'm outside. You know, son, you gonna hear the song booming outside your
That
house.
Joe gotta come. That you got to put a warning sticker on them, Jones. Say you cannot play this without an externally powered amplifier in your sound system. This show gonna drain your alternator. So let me ask you something on that. I'm shooting through the headache, your bullets pathetic. Prophetic say yes, no peasants blew through the exit. Shatter solar plexus, scope the repercussion. At the terminus of my
and then I know also too. Yeah, I hear you. C Reed too. We do have C Reed. He's supposed to be calling in too on standby as well. Here coming up momentarily in about 10 minutes too to speak as well from Texas.
Oh man, see you hitting, y'all playing Miss Music. Why you do me like that? Why you bring on an artist from Texas when we premiered 8 a.m. Exposure? You be doing me so dirty live on air.
I'm sorry, but they tell kids. I won't see it too. I mean, let me say this too, just while we're in the intermission. Kid, he's just not, what caught me, like you said, how do I decide which artist I work with? What caught me was the diversity. He doesn't sound like, and that's just one track, that track that you heard. He's very diverse. He doesn't sound like the typical trap rap, and nothing wrong with that. We rock with that, and we have artists that do trap rap or hardcore rap, gangster rap, pop music, vocalists, R&B, neo soul. We touch all genres, but his music is more so, people say he sounds similar to like a St. Louis, like a Nelly, St. Lunatics, Flow Rider type of sound that he does have, but that's natural. He's never, like, when I first met him, he's never like tried to aim or sound like anybody. When he does his craft, and God allows him to have his gifting, it comes out in a good party, good vibe, like some harmony, good melody in his voice. It's just different. So that's whoa, nah, what's happening? Every time I do it, I got the latest reactive. Whoa, nah, what's happening? When I hit the scene, it's like camera action. Whoa, nah, what's happening? Every time I do it, I got the latest reactive. That's something I wanted to ask. Coming out of Louisiana, especially like the part of Louisiana, and your time there and everything, it's like everyone knows, Lil Wayne and the whole Know Your movement, the whole movement from Big, not Big Boy, but from Baby and Cash Money and all that out of there, and but then it's like the Hurricane Chris's and then the Kevin Gateses that come out of those regions as well. Like, do you see other artists like switching up when they see people getting on? Like when they see a new person from the region get on, Colorado with Oregon. When I come through, yo, put that good kush up in the wind. What's happening? Georgia, VA, and the Carolinas, where you got them thick fine women with a lot behind them. Whoa, Tennessee, Mississippi, and Alabama. Can't forget my goddamn home.
I don't like dressing like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So when I hear people try to sound like somebody, I'm like, bro, I try to pull it like the people that I know and I'm cool with. I tell them like, hey man, people, it sounds good, but somebody already doing that. So all you're gonna do is look like a copycat, and nobody likes a copycat. So to each his own, but I wouldn't do it. I take my time to try to like tell people, you know what I'm saying? I just took my time and tried different stuff and found my sound, just out of nowhere. And once I found it, I took it. So like, okay, besides the obvious answers, like, I know like me, Miss Music, I mean yourself first as far as like your favorite MCs out there right now. But like beyond that, we know that part, but beyond that, like who are some of your favorites in the game right now? Who are you paying attention to right now that you like what they're doing? I like what Drake doing. Shout out to him. Let me see, Boosting. I was been a Boosting fan. Since he just came out, you know what I'm saying? Ooh, there was a lot of touchdowns, all that, man, when he first came out. Who else? Like right now, I like YG for sure. YB, T.I., I like to keep up with him. I like his music. And
I love Mr. Huffin' Gang.
Yes, sir.
And Black Youngster, Black Boy JB, I like his songs. So far, a lot of his stuff I've seen that came out. Free Kodak, even though he ain't making nothing right now, but Free Kodak, for sure. That's about it. Right now, that's all only ones I'm really, like, newest artists, you know what I'm saying, that's new on the rock, that's out new right now, that's all I listen to. But old school, Ice Cube, Snoop, whole Death Row going on right there. Easy, UGK,
yes, sir.
Hero, then, Boots Off Top, always. I was going to listen to Rich Boy sometimes, go back to some of his stuff and listen to it. Because
come on, 8-Ball and G. I know 8-Ball and G got a spot there.
Oh, yeah. 8-Ball is the G, Outkast. I'm missing one somewhere. I just can't think of his name right now. But Trick Daddy, I still bang some of Trick Daddy old stuff, especially with him, Wayne, and T.I. was on that song, Stand Up, when they was on T.I.
The stand up and when they did the round head jump.
Oh, yeah, that was the remix. Oh, man.
Yeah.
The video was that. Well, there's a lot of artists that I listen to. I try to influence from Nelly, you know what I'm saying? Diddy. I listen to Diddy too. Guidance. You know what I'm saying? I listen to a lot of music because, I don't try to just blockade myself off to a certain type of music. Shoot, on the regular, I listen to R&B all day. You know what I'm saying? Man. Lenny Williams.
Oh, really?
Lenny Williams, Otis Redding, Marvin Gaye, Al Green, Teddy. You can't go nowhere without Teddy.
Well, hey, look, man, just on some humble, last week we had John Harold and his brother on Rodney from R&B group Troop.
Whoa.
That's
nice.
This is 8 a.m. Exposure is the follow-up interview from the 30th anniversary of Troop was last week.
Oh, that's
It's an honor.
So we stay on the R&B round here. We got to keep this music happy.
I feel you on that.
I don't think you understand what happened when that little woman get angry.
Oh, I could do some that. A mad woman? Bro, clear the room. It's about to get bad. That's like a hurricane.
So here goes this question. I think that some people find interesting, but I think it's a good question to ask people so that people can have a little bit more insight into who you are, and when they see you out, when they see you on the grind, they see how much you're putting into it and all of that. If you could describe a goal that you have with entertainment.
Mm-hmm. My biggest goal is, overall is to work with the people I listened to when I was growing up and going through college and listening now. And my biggest goal is to do songs with them and to elevate and, be one of the greats. Be one of the ones that, 10, 15 years from now, they're going to be like, man, y'all remember that kid song back then that went hard? You know what I'm saying? That's what one of my biggest goals. I can sit back, say about 40, 50 years old, still hear people playing my song. And still be like, yeah, it's still bang. 20 years down the line.
Longevity is always should be the goal. So we say, we go on that concept in entertainment about it, like how do people decide who gets put on? And when you answer the question directly to people, they're like, it can't be that simple. I'm like, it's really that simple. It's people, the powers that be. Mr. Call them the gatekeepers. That was one of our goals in entertainment that Mr. Mitchell saw in us as individuals, but together, the way that we move is that in our era, success wasn't as accessible as it is nowadays. Mm-hmm. The avenues weren't as accessible. And so there was this thing called gatekeeper. It was very, very privately owned. There were certain companies that made the big moves and that could change your tax bracket overnight. And if you didn't get in with them, then keep trucking at it or give up,
Right.
And it was always frustrating to feel and to be told that you were more dominant, that you had a stronger presence, that you were more profitable, you more marketable than the people that were being put on, but the gate would allow you to be. And so for her and I, it's like our work and drive, like from us going through that, it turned us into wanting to be gatekeepers, but not to be that way with it. Like do the complete opposite where, you know, everywhere all of us live, there's those dudes that got them basement studios, ain't take one class at Full Sail or nothing, but they want to charge you like $35 an hour. You know,
outrageous.
Then it take them a month to like mix it down, you know, and then they trying to pull the Diddy movie. You know, I gotta shut the studio down. My wife's mad at me. Like what?
No. I feel like this. If I gotta run you down for you to mix my song, I'll do it. I will pull up at your crib, knock on your door, wait for your car to pull up. Like, hey son, I need my music now. I didn't pay for it to get done later. I need it now. Like they say, it's not money and I need it now. Yeah, it's my song. I need it done now.
What you say? What you say is like, don't get me, got me, pimpin'. Don't get me, lady, got me, pimpin'. I need to be got right now. I need to got that to me right now. Don't get it to me, got it. I need past tense.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. There's some studios that really got their sound on point, even if it is a home studio. But if you're paying $35 an hour and you come out and your music sound really bad, then yeah, you just got ripped off. But I have to give some of these home studios out here and the people that run it, I have to give them their props, because I've seen some of these home studios come out with music that was even better than being in the studio, or just as good as being in the studio. So.
Oh, you know, I ain't knocking it.
Right? As long as you got the
I ain't
hardware,
knocking it.
you know what I mean? Yeah, you can.
I mean, most of the songs on my mix and master pretty much myself, me and my homeboys, like mixing and stuff. They did a couple of my homeboys did it. Shout out to DJ Crazy A and Red Rail. You feel me? They did a lot of my mixing, but the mastering and stuff like that, we did that at the house. Chilling. Keep playing the songs over and over until it's time right.
See, and you remember, let me say this is LT, again, representing 8 a.m. Exposure. Let me say this, you know, of course, like the Dungeon family, Outkast right out of the base, but the Dungeon mixed it and mastered it and did the whole album right there out the basement. But I'm not saying that's how we do or anything like that, but at 8 a.m. Exposure, we do put emphasis on, hey, you get it, you get how you live, you know, get it how you live or what you're able to do. We don't give any handout. We don't give, you know, I know a lot of people operate different, but with us, you earn what you get. So therefore, when you do get it, you appreciate it more. You see, like Kid, and you know, he's worked for everything he got. He doesn't owe me a dime. He doesn't owe me or anybody else anything except, you know, the Lord above. Other than that, Kid worked from Colorado shows to North Carolina to Atlanta to Miami shows to North Carolina to LA shows he's done, Texas, all in 1 year. This man worked. He got off the couch. He got up. He listened. He, like Miss Music said, he was a sponge. So I just want to motivate all the listeners, all the young artists, all the older artists. You can do it. You can make it, but you got to put in the work and have the right people. That's what Kid did.
Well, he owe me something. Now hold on now, LT. I was rocking with everything you were saying, but he owed me something. Like I proclaim myself, and I'm proclaimed to be a hip hop advocate, which means I push the culture. I believe in the culture. I believe in the importance of it. I believe in the importance of the vision, of the goals, the jobs, opportunities, and the motivation that it provides visually. It gives a visual stimulant to the youth, and I believe that Kid owes me more dope tracks. I'm not playing with you, bro.
Hey, bro, go check out the whole CD, you heard me. I got one on there called Good Jug that's actually playing in Onyx in Dallas. Shout out to DJ J. Chris. But, yeah, man, a lot of people like that one. So, yeah.
Tell them about Woe Now. We got Woe Now down in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah, Woe Now is down there playing at 95 The Heat in Atlanta. Shout out to Mr. Mike. Give me that opportunity.
He's dealing, of course, out of Texas too. Of course, he's dealing with some of Michael Watt, DJ Michael 5,000 Watts.
Oh, you know I love my Twister House classics, young. Stop playing.
Yeah, bro. I'm rocking with him. Shout out to Ted, Tiger,
Kid,
what's up with it, y'all?
You rocking with Michael Watts, too.
Yeah, man, met him. Cool guy. You know what I'm saying? Real chill.
Stop playing. Yeah, you don't let me get my copy of my Southern Smoke Classic and you on that joint, I'm a Kurt.
No, you won't hear the classics, but it just recently, within the past few months, kid, like I keep saying, he put in that work and we made the connection there. Shouts out V Mills, Mr. Michael Watts, manager down there in Houston, Texas. We linked it up for South by Southwest. He traveled out there and man, the rest is history, as they say. So yes, sir, be on the lookout.
For everybody listening, Miss Music has told people time and time again, as y'all heard it from Kid, as you've heard it from other artists who their careers have excelled after listening and taking direction and not just making excuses for the things that they're told. When you ask people like LT and you ask people like Miss Music, what do I need to do to step up? Miss Music has told everybody time and time again, she reminds them to register. I do it as well. I remind everybody to register for their BMI ASCAP, report to their Library of Congress, get their copyright, make sure that they get their certification to be an author so that they can sell their works and everything else. But Miss Music always advocates about these music conferences, South by Southwest, these big networking events. I advocate, like I'm an ASCAP member, so I advocate about the ASCAP events that happen. But y'all hearing it, like LT said, from like LT said and like Kid said, from like a year ago, from 1 year ago, all these seats, all these connections, all this work.
Oh, yeah. And at the end of the day, too, as well, and I know we have C. Reed calling in, too, on the line, and, whenever we're ready, too. But at the end of the day, like I said, if you don't want the producer all in your videos.
Oh, no, you didn't.
I'm just playing.
No, you didn't.
I'm playing on the 80. No,
he went there.
No,
he went there.
Salute Suge Knight, salute Puffy, man. Just salute the history of music. But 8 a.m. exposure, come to me, 704-421-5246, and definitely we'll help you get the way you go. Salute everybody.
Hey, Miss Music, what you want to say to KYD Kid from Louisiana, man? We gonna holler at this other artist, but we want to make sure that we give KYD his proper dues with everything. What you want to holler at the man about?
Man, he said he cook. He need to come to Tampa and feed me, Seymour.
I got you. And my people stay out there in St. Petersburg and Tampa. Shout out to my little cousin, Scooter, Matthew, and Jordan. My boy, he might be a pharmacist. He just graduated University of Central Florida. He's going to grad school now.
Yeah, I'm right over the bridge in St. Pete. So all you got to do is cross the bridge and you're in St. Pete.
Oh, I already know. I used to chill out there at the little apartments out there and stuff when I was young. I remember that. I remember how to get there.
Yeah, it's hot in St. Pete, man. Shouts out to everybody that's out there in St. Pete, all the artists out there, Live, Crystal, Hush Boy. I mean, there's just a lot of artists out there that are doing the daggum thing. So you're definitely going to have to come back out here and see the artists that are out here.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I'm ready to work, ready to network. You heard me?
Yeah, you know Frenchie from OTM while he was out here?
No, not really. No.
He got a hot little track out right now, but his name is Frenchie, and he's from OTM, and you can SoundCloud or even YouTube, and when you come back out here in St. Pete, maybe you should team up with him. We get a collab going or something like that. He's out there doing tours.
All right. Dude,
sure.
I'm going to get that moving.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, I don't know why Miss Music playing. I'm gonna have some conversations with LT and Kid and see what's going on with jumping 813 Famous Studios one night out the blue. Be like, we just gonna show up down Tampa at the studio door and be like, we want to do a track.
For real.
Turn on the machines, Miss Music.
Let's get it popping. You heard me?
That's about it.
For sure.
Hey, we recording and take it somewhere else to get mixed, I guess, unless we get the engineer that I got to do it.
Hey, I'm with it. I'm always ready to record. I what I'm saying? I got myself on the right schedule, right 5 songs a day.
Exactly. If you can just record, you're good. You can always fix the other stuff later.
Yep.
Hey, look here.
Just put it
Hey,
down
look here. This is WBOKRadio.com and the Encore Live Show. We're live and direct. Yogi 1AO, Miss Music, King Music Radio on the line with us. My beautiful co-host joining us all the way down there from Tampa, Florida. Right now we have the premiere of our new network affiliate, 8 a.m. Exposure. We have the man in charge, LT, 8 a.m. Exposure on the line with us right now. We were just speaking with one of his artists, KYD Kid. Whoa, out of Louisiana, man. Great artist, great interview thus far. Make sure y'all look up his music. Kid, I want you to go ahead and do a blast on all of your connects for people to be able to get to your social media sites, your music. Give your shout-outs, brother. Let it rock.
All right, so you can follow me on all social media networks. It's KYD Cloud Surfer. CloudSurfer. That's KYD CloudSurfer. Cloud Surfer. You heard, man? You can go on iTunes, Spotify, Deezer, SoundCloud. You feel me? Find my album on YouTube also as well. It's KYD. It's lit. You heard me? Give me comments, share it. You heard me? Download it, pay for it, all that. Stream it, do all that. You heard me? Do all that.
Hey, brother. I want you to stay up, stay blessed, stay motivated. You know what I'm saying? Stay in touch, man. You know, with 8 a.m. joining onto the network, we all stay in touch. Some people think that we just holler at in the interviews and then we don't keep in touch with the artists that we speak to. And ain't that kind of show. Ain't that kind of show. We gonna work. We got work. We gonna get that work in.
I'm always.
Hey, look, we definitely appreciate.
No days off.
We definitely appreciate you taking the time out with everything that you're doing. I don't know some artists that have been in the game for 4 or 5 years did that much work in 1 year, you know what I'm saying? But we definitely appreciate you taking the time to sit down and chop it up with us, let us know who you are, what's going on with you. Now we got some plugs to the music and we know who we listening to. Now we know what's on your mind when we listening to them fire tracks. My name is Dylan, I spit hot fire.
Favorite rappers alive. Starlight.
Unmuted.
Not to mention, we got another fire artist coming on tonight with 8 a.m. Exposure, Mr. C. Reed. So we're going to be checking him out in just a minute. So, yes, salute to you and your co-workers, and salute to your boss.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'd like to say, too, you know, everybody at 8 a.m. Exposure is their own bosses. They have kid creation and his own production, his cooking there. That's him. You know, me, I'm basically the mentor, guy first over all of this. No bosses. We just make bosses. So that's it. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Amen. Well, Yogi, I'm excited for the next artist, aren't you?
Hey, I don't know what's going on with these media groups. You know, it got me thinking about some coins, you know what I'm saying? That's what we saying up here. It was like, do we got any coins, though? What are we doing with his coins?
Get some money, get that some money.
honestly, like when LT made the comment about, you know, when things got a little rough in some movies, you know, and during some history of hip-hop, you know, where you don't want your producer all up in your videos. Now, see, we had another great entertainer on our show. You remember the movie The Five Heartbeats?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember Big Red from The Five Heartbeats, the manager that was, he held the dude over the balcony? My office hours are from 9 to 5.
Hey, you coming to slapping people up? You heard me? Hey, you gonna get it right?
That was Mr. Hawthorne. That was the actor. The actor is Mr. Hawthorne James. We had him on the show. That was what, a couple of years back. We had him on, and he is a trip. But like you said, it reminds us of different times and in the history of entertainment. Like I said earlier, it wasn't the avenues of success and the avenues of opportunity weren't as available back in the day. There were certain avenues to take, and you either got on or you didn't. Now we have the opportunity to say, okay, that avenue is going to take a little bit more than I have. I'm going to just be real. But now I can build myself up to be undeniable and to work myself into becoming a company that can be acquired by another entertainment company as an asset. You know, it didn't used to be that way. You were either a commodity or a liability. You were either going to make the big company money or not, and it didn't matter how talented you were. I think a lot of people like yourself, LT, want to give a big shout out to HNIC Mitchell. Want to give a big shout out to my co-host and everything that she does. But the folks in the entertainment community that have taken the time to step back and not want to be in the limelight and understand that that limelight is for people that's their route. And we have the opportunity to gain the knowledge and the network and gain the ability to open up avenues so that they don't have to go through the things that we've seen other people go through that would have been great in entertainment. Would have been great in entertainment.
We need to bring on C. Reed now because we're going to be wrapping this show up a little bit here soon. I definitely, are you ready? Go ahead.
Yeah, I've been here. I've been.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we also want to let everybody know with oh.
All right.
Okay.
Wow, appreciate that.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate that. To see.
Yes, sir.
Whatever y'all want,
everybody,
Yogi, Miss Music, whatever y'all want. I know you said kid owes you something. Whatever you all need, we got you, Yogi and Miss Music and Mr. C. We got you. WBOK, baby.
All right.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing for everybody that tuned in. They know that was Mr. Mitchell. That's HNIC Mitchell right there. That voice y'all was hearing. That's the boss right there. You know, he lets us do our thing, but he's like, I got something to say. It's important. Stop talking, Yogi. But no, it is. But from what Mr. Mitchell was saying, he's right on point with that, and we want to make sure that we emphasize that not only with the interview, but for our streaming, all of our streaming will include the advertisement and exposure of the artists, the tracks that were submitted to us that we were given permission to utilize on our broadcast. We have our Jukebox app, where when people say, where can I find your music? WBOKRadio.com, go to the jukebox, click on my picture, you will hear my music, you will hear my music playing right then. And you'll also hear it playing in rotation on that station. So it's a privilege for us to really be able to expose and give a platform. So Mr. Mitchell just always wants to make sure that in my ramblings, make sure I keep the business on it too. So thank you, boss.
And Miss Music and Mr. Yogi, I think we do got Mr. C. Reed. He just contacted on the line as well. C. Reed is everything. I think.
Well, we've been waiting for C. Reed. We just had Louisiana on the line. Now we got Texas in the building. What's going on? Welcome to the broadcast.
What's up?
Hey, what's happening, man? It's a pleasure. It's an honor, man. All of the above. You know, I'm just happy to be in the building over the line, you know what I'm saying, to contribute my 2 cents if they're worth much. You know, you're talking about coins. You just see what you're able to, you know. We're blessed to be here, able to contribute our own thoughts. I'm especially humbled to be on the line with such great, you know, honorary legends and just make a contribution through y'all, you know, talking to y'all about what I've had to gone through to get to this point and go further, you know, everything, you know, and all around. Yes, sir.
Oh, man, you better stop that. We here to pay homage for you, the artist, and your contributions to the industry and your contributions to the culture. Don't you be fluffing Yogi 1AO up, brother.
Oh, okay, man. Well, I'll take that. I'll take that. You know what I'm saying? I'll roll with it.
I'm just messing with you, C. Reed. I'm
just
messing
with you. And
so what's going on with
you,
brother?
Think about C. Mr. Yogi, if I could say, just to introduce him properly like I did Kid, and then you all can ask every question you need, but I definitely want to give him a proper introduction. Straight out of Texas there, young guy, man. He's just different as well with his ability. Just graduated from his collegiate university, so we do put education first, of course, with any artist, and he's just a different artist. It's the alternative hip-hop, down south swag, influenced by a lot of the greats. So I'll let you all continue there and him just speak on his music as well. Yes, sir, Mr. Yogi.
Oh, my. Miss Music, what did you bring to the network?
More stars.
Man. The network?
So you were that was LT from 8 AM Exposure introducing this artist that's a part of his network that's joining our network here at WBOKRadio.com, the Encore Live Show. You were speaking on Mr. C. Reed, right?
Yes, sir. He was correct.
Mr.
Yes,
C.
sir.
Reed,
and I'm honored.
I was going to say, what's that feel like to be introduced like that?
Man, I'm just a young, you know, cat from Texas that came up kind of on a multifaceted platform, you know. Like, I started with rock, you know. Like, I was really into rock, and then rap came around in my early adolescence. And I was introduced to the Ghetto Boys and Two Live Crew, UGK, you know, and like, how could you not, you know, like, when something's so in its own genre, like rock to Led Zeppelin or, you know, Pink Floyd, what have you, how could you not recognize the genuine talent right away? I don't know. To me, it's like unfiltered, but that's kind of what took me to the next level. Like, I have all this ability to research and learn, and I extrapolated that ability to produce poetry at a young age, like 14, 15, and I read a lot of Ernest Hemingway, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Thoreau, and Edgar Allan Poe as well. And so I just got into a whole different realm of writing, and I kind of took that to rapping, if you will, putting it into a syntax that's fashionable to a rhythm.
Oh, my. Hold on a minute. I got to put on my big boy shoes right now.
Muted.
In your pursuit, in your upbringing and all that, were you a music arts, like were you a performing arts student in school? Like, did you take band or choir or like?
Partially. I only took it to a degree. I didn't take choir. I took band, honestly. I had friends at choir, but I never actually, except for high school, I would hang out with the choir students. I played some of the orchestra instruments, and they sang and, you know, vocalized. But I was really into the trumpet, the French, and the tuba, as well as the flute back in middle school and high school. And then I fixated really on the piano and the guitar outside of singing. I'm not, like, excellent, you know, too proficient, but those are the instruments I kind of gravitated towards, so to speak, after, you know, my education culminated, and I'm at the point where I'm at. Yes, sir.
Okay, so education. What was your educational pursuit, if I may ask? Because LT Exposure he just said that you recently graduated.
Yes, sir. From UTA. And that was chemistry.
Oh my.
Yes.
So hold on a second. So the way that you describe creating like a hip hop track, is that how you view it, like in a chemistry mindset?
I guess there's the algorithm, very fashionable to that, but, you know, each their own. To me personally, honestly, each instrumentation, each track, each element, it brings its own essence. So I have to calculate it depending on what I'm looking at. It's very relative. So I mean, it is kind of like that. I do have the algorithmic mindset, but I kind of have to tailor it towards each element and then go for what I'm looking for the overall, standard or paradigm I have at the time for my track.
Jesus, what? See now, I'm having all types of issues right now because listen to see Reed. Jesus, gravity.
I'm just a young cat, man.
But look here. I want to ask you something for real. The environment of hip hop, right? Because as we all know, there's different genres in hip hop, and there's rap, and there's different genres of rap, and there's different genres of hip hop. For yourself to take an active part in becoming a part of the history and being a page in the book of history in hip hop and its culture and its movement during this era, what are some of the things that you feel you have an advantage over other people in creating quality music, and what do you feel like might be some of your disadvantages?
Mm-hmm. Oh, duality. It's a part of reality. There's two sides to every story. So I feel like I have a great advantage with arranging my thoughts kind of in a more layered structure, so it appears, or it is more complex, but it's just buried deep, and so you have to use your own intellect to get to their original meaning. But I feel like it's not always meant to be loquacious, like so complex or intricate that people just are neglecting the original intent or interest. I just feel like, to me, it's a balance issue, but my advantage is my vocabulary and I guess the eloquence and the ability, the capacity to deliver it. And then the disadvantage ultimately would be what people see as pontificating or going too far and just equivocating and not being specific and, not even beating around the bush, but just like putting words out there that don't go together and just like expecting proper assimilation. So that's definitely not what I go for. But yes, sir. That's pretty much what that is about that. I just feel like I have to focus and own my skill on certain elements more so on the disadvantage rate because I'm too caught up in poetry or lyrics and this or that. So I have to allocate proper attention, at its own bandwidth.
So would you so like on like the hip hop, like on the hip hop, like there's like a gas gauge, right? Would the needle in your tank lean more towards lyricism or more towards beat, more towards track?
It'd be definitely, I think I'm pretty disposed to say more towards lyricism. It's simply because frequencies are natural, but I mean, I believe that every time you can arrange something different per mind, then it's kind of like a original/unoriginal iteration of what did and didn't exist. So it's rarely ever purely original, but I feel like our words are kind of like the iterations of the truth of the universe coming through a filter. So lyricism is my opinion. I mean, that's just what I lean towards.
What was your first rhyme? What's the first rhyme? What was your first rhyme that you like when you think about it? That was like you can consider like your first serious rhyme.
My first line I ever wrote,
like your first like with hip hop, like your first hip hop, like your first bar that you ever wrote that you were like, you know what, I got something here.
Man, that was probably a good minute back, but yeah, let me think about that. That comes out to be probably on the spot. Cancer. It's a terrible disease. It comes back to us and leaves us to grieve. We can't do anything about it, but prance and seize, and it never leaves us Jesus Please. It was like one of the first little things I wrote on a notebook, and I was back in maybe 5th grade or something, back in my friend's house. And that was just, we were talking about different stuff, and biology was a huge thing because we were in 5th grade, we were just in the science department a lot, so I got into chemistry and by kind of a secondary concern or interest. So I just started rapping about that on the notebook, and it wasn't certificate or anything at like the 5th grade level, but it was just like cancer, it's a terrible disease. There's nothing we can do. The tumors we can't release, But then again, I'm working in the nanotechnological field, so I feel like it's also part of my destiny to overcome that and, contribute to like some type of tumor removal, at least on the integumentary, like the skin level, because that's what UTA and a lot of North Texas facilities are focusing on now. For cancer removal.
I'm going to be quiet for a second. And WBOKRadio.com listening audience, Alcor Live listening audience, I'm going to turn this over to Miss Music because the topic that C. Reed just brought up, we all support, love, and follow with what Miss Music in her life and what you're just speaking about. That's like when we talk about the blessings we receive from the work that we do. Like, Miss Music, go ahead, Queen.
Yeah, well, a lot of people do know on the show, but too many of the new followers that are catching the show now. My son recently has been diagnosed with cancer, brain and spinal cancer. He's had multiple brain tumors the size of a 2.5-inch massive brain tumor taken out from behind his third eye. And we've been going through that for a few years now. He's had multiple surgeries. We almost lost him twice. But he's now in chemo. And he's taken the chemo, and it's actually working. So that is definitely kind of a touchy subject, and I understand where you say you want to do something that you can do that's effectively to promote to a cause, that'd be good for a cause. So, salute to everybody out there that's fighting cancer. If you know somebody who's fighting cancer, it's very hard to deal with. My mother also had multiple myeloma. She was first-year case in America. So it's going to touch you whether if it's not a friend or if it's family. It's going to somehow come across your life. But I do wanted to thank you for at least, trying to do something that can support a good cause, especially like cancer out there because everybody's coming down with it now. So watch what you eat, watch what you intake. Make sure you look at the back of the products that you're buying, and make sure there aren't the agents in there like aspartame or sucralose or something like that that could promote, cancer. Stay away from canola oil. There's a new thing out about that now. Watch some of your vaccines. And also people don't understand that when they go through the risk of having cancer and taking chemo, they still have the risk of catching other cancers. So even though they're taking chemotherapy system, it can still also bring up other types of cancer besides just fighting it. So everybody's kind of fighting a battle when it comes to cancer. And salute to the people that go into remission. Salute to the doctors down at Tampa General, neurosurgery down there, Dr. Rin, Dr. Rico. Thanks to him, Dr. I think his Hannigan, it is. I really do appreciate all the support. But that's definitely something that's a touchy subject for us.
Right.
Definitely. I really do appreciate that, and I appreciate the fact that you're doing your thing, but you still got that brain on you. You need that brain on you. Yeah. So if it doesn't pan out, you still got your degree to go and do something. So I think that's just.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I just think that's awesome.
I definitely wanted to be a part of a greater purpose, so that's kind of where I wanted to evolve and take my skills. I kind of listen to the greats and I pay homage, not even in the rapping industry, but just the great minds that exist on this earth that have passed away from here to long ago. Like, they just have so many great doctrines to follow, and, if you just pay attention or rivet your interest towards, you can evolve to that level where just contribute something that is similar. So like Stephen Hawking, who's recently passed, just look at the stars, to look at your feet. It's just as simple as like keeping your head up, like Tupac said, And these things coincide, but that's just on a different level. I'm just very philosophical. I'm also very realistic, but I see a lot of things on a kind of a metaphysical basis, and that's kind of why I have to strive a lot to pay attention to different things on the physical plane. But I take great notes, and like everything else, respectively.
Exactly. Now, can I ask you, who are your musical influences along the way?
It would have had to started, probably when my friend back in the day, like fourth, third grade, goodness, it's not that good, but Eminem, we were listening to a lot of Eminem. I mean, Holloway, my friend Brennan, he got his CDs from like Hewlett Mall and stuff, and he would just get the explicit, and we just listened to White America and, a bunch of stuff, and Stan, and, like I was like interested in music, not music, but I'm sorry, rap and hip hop, kind of on the Eminem basis outside of Public Enemy. And when I got into middle school, I discovered more of like the Houston rap scene outside of Tupac and Biggie. I discovered more of like the Ghetto Boys and definitely UGK and Screwed Up Click and, all the legends that just make it available to have a culture to stand upon in the South, kind of be respected, It's like us in Atlanta, we kind of coincided at an imperative time in history, and we were just like, hey, South, a Southern staple too, like the East and West, like the Midwest too, so I feel like it's collaboration. Yeah, Texas, 817-713-214-210, all over, all around the way. But,
do you freestyle? You still do that?
Yes, sir.
I mean, I ain't asking you to do it on air or nothing. Like, I mean, unless you volunteer to. Well, I'm just saying, some artists don't. Some artists don't. I like me. I come from that time where it kind of developed from there. But some guys, some people I like. They're like, let's do a collab, and so I'm like, all right, let's meet up, vibe, and see if we can create some content. And I want to freestyle. And they're like, oh, I don't do that. I write. And I'm like, what? I mean, cool, but all right, I'm gonna just stand here and do this, and
Right.
But do you?
I freestyle, man. I do both.
Oh my! So have you ever jumped into the battle scene or anything?
Yeah, I have like 2 or 3 times, but I've never been on like a live recording like what's his face, Destroya or not Twista, but that other guy who's like one of the best battle rappers. I've never been on like a series episode where it's like me and a guy like going back and forth, but I have like in my friend's house and basement dungeon, stuff like that. But
do you still because like with speaking to you and then like from hearing some of your music, it's like are you the type of MC that still believes in like cypher, like a warm up, like it's kind of like how vocalists warm up. To me, it's like when I hit the studio, I either have the content that I'm there to work on and do. But if I'm in like the creative mode, then I want to cipher. I want to cipher with other people and bounce my thoughts back and forth, and it helps me to kind of structure my thoughts into the bars, But are you a cipher type of MC, or are you more or less like let me grab my pen and pad?
I'm technically, I'd say I'd like to be a cipher in an ideal sense, but I'm also introverted, where I don't have to have a social setting. I can always gravitate towards my own thoughts and then lead them somewhere. But on a social basis, I'm good at bouncing off other people and contributing, either like-minded or resonating verses, in the music sense.
So is C. Reed gonna give WBOKRadio.com the Encore Live show some bars? You gonna spit for us real quick?
Yeah, we can do that. I could do vintage or I could do a new.
I'm so excited.
Hey, Mr. Yogi, what we can do, we can have a little 8 a.m. cycle. Let C. Reed go in and Kid, and then even me as well. We could definitely bring that fire to you, definitely. If you want it.
Are we doing that? Are we doing that live on WBOKRadio.com, the Encore Live show? Is our 50-state dedicated listening audience and 36-country dedicated listening audience about to get live freestyle bars from 8 a.m. exposure? We're about to have a live cipher on the air. C. Reed from Texas, man. I love my job. This music. What are you doing to me?
Hook it up, man. Hook it up. You know how I do it, man. You never know what's gonna pop out for me.
Shout out to Miss Music.
Oh man, hey, C. Reed, what you gonna jump the cipher off? LT,
yeah,
you gonna jump? I'm saying.
Yes, sir. So, I'm perceptive to the caliber, breaking all the calibers. They can't stop because I'm a natural. Y'all ransack just amateurs and caricatures. I'm coming. I'm so perfect picture. I'm never a mirror image. I'm the chimerical, incendiary, and never stopping this. I put it to a pagan's emissary because I never deliver the apocryphal. I disseminate the truthful. And I have to put it to a disciple, Bible. Every time I pack the rifle like Twisted Black in the 817 did in the days of Fightful, back in the 90s and 80s. I mean, I was stacking up, about to be conceptualized, about to be conceived. I mean, movement. I have to see this. Every time I see a reason, I see them breathing, but I see the demons every time. I never believe it. Yeah, that's just a freestyle.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, my.
Well, sure, let me slide us in this thing, you dig, real smooth. It's your boy KYD. Slide through real quick.
KYD, let's go.
Get the girl up real quick. Now she about to come hop on beat. But you know how I do. Come through real smooth, real cool. Hit her one with the 1-2. Come through with the, man, I fell off, man. I'm tripping. Hold on. You feel me? Hold on. I think it's finesse. I know that I'm blessed. And don't flex, because I'm better than the rest. Been doing this, been 2 times, and I ain't going to quit, because I'm really with the love. I'm all about my dollars. I'm all about commas. I'm trying to have my pocket better than a naming Honda. I got that 5-4 pass in the life like Sean Paul. Been putting in work so I arm my strength, because I'm a big dog. Chasing me, that's a no-no. I'm all about money so I get dough. Flip a little one to a big foe. And want to get low from the kick dough. Joy Pippin, call it give and go. Pass it out to my little bro. Joy Pippin, call it give and go. You heard me? A little something right there. You heard me?
Hey, LT, you gonna get him?
Yes, sir. And I got it as the mentor here. We always believe in giving back to the community. So, here we go. God Life team, so you've been winning. So you think they seeing magic like they watching Ben Simmons. Some didn't get that, but shouts out to Philly, to Miami, New York, and all they feel me. Outworking Yahweh, boy, that sounds silly. I pray to my Father like, Father, forgive me. I know I'm a sinner, no perfect, no really. Brothers turn to ashes, getting blasted over killing. They've been started, so I'm staying in the pretense. Shocking to the world like Harden playing defense. People talking down every day, but they leeching. Riding all the waves, trying to hop on the remix. We stay original. 8 a.m. refix. This entire game, so weakness deleted. No op ways, no portraying, no demons. All cops pay, some betraying they precinct. Some kids raised under parents who weaken. Single mother homes because they fathers indecent. I came from a place filled up with heathens. Street drug crimes with the vets who was seasoned. Foul guys from the players who was cheating on their women, playing games, never leading. Wanna ride waves, gotta hop in the deep end. Snake, fake, sharks, get the sparking, that's the end. Bitter, let me refit. Wanna ride the waves, you gotta hop in the deep end. Said it 2 times so you know that I mean it. Getting out of line, get you shaped up a mean trim. Diamonds in my rhymes, I can spit up a mean gem. Running out of time ended, you can't relive. So get it right now, convenient. No living twice, only Christ can ream it. No lotto tickets, you can win and receive it. Go hard to get it, no wait and go achieve it. Chop, what? thinking that you beastin', devil get you dropped like Jordy from the Cheesehead. Follow no rookies, experience needed. Words to the new way, respect what preceded. This in the greats, you providing the issue. Start leading the rookies like Donovan Mitchell. Shots out to Salt Lake City. Hey, no bad boys, Liam, never met Diddy. Shots out to Miss Music with me. And Yogi on the net. Yo, we get busy. WBOKRADIO. LP.
Hey, I got to give it to y'all. Hey, look here. This is going to look a little strangish. You know, they got me speaking a different language. This is Yogi Wanayo, WBOKRadio.com, Encore Live. We're going to do this. I'm going to make sure that we don't get anything wrong with these strangers. Stepping into a ring with a king, dumb. Going inside these crowns, young. They don't even know what happened with my particulars. Moving around all these bars and these airwaves, I think I'm moving through like I'm vehicular. All they want to see is me get down on my Kinglish. That's the reason why I cancel Christmas lists. They don't want to get up on that wishing list. This is a way that they come around. They want to dispense this. The Christmas list, they get dispensed down to all the feeble-minded. What I want to do is remind them that being on my throne is going to be something. Remind them it's greater than you. Be something greater than true. Told them what I'm going to do is break through like gorillas coming out the Brooklyn Zoo. But I ain't even from up north, west side, riding up or dragging through this urban jungle. Told them boys I bring the fruits of my labor to everybody going through the jungle. I know what it feels like to be in that hunger. Who gonna tell this young boy he can't do it no longer? Told him I want to suppress the lungs of anyone that wants to try to expunge anything from my culture. These vultures gonna have happen when a king step before him. Got a queen by my side, a person that will ride. Everything else is just something in the trunk to provide. Everybody riding around in the Midwest with them swangers. Them boys down in Texas, Louisiana, we got 8 a.m. exposure on the media. We know what it do when them boys hop that trunk and pull out them bangers. This ain't nothing for people that like to twist up their fingers. This is a whole nother level. Street Talk Kingdom. They trying to run a block or we trying to run up stocks. Who gonna stop them when these other boys flop? I told them, invest a little bit in yourself and for your future. Look at these young boys doing what they do to you. Now, let me get back to my job. Pardon me for the interruption. It's okay. I'll take the criticism, no problem. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to jump in the cipher.
Hey, I got one more though, man. Hey, is it cool if I spit just one more? These people so derelict in your midst, after this, even in the abyss, wispy wit pulpit is picked by the pricks, and they reminisce how they but they still blasphemous, abandoned, excavated, vendetta purged. They acted with the perjury and the narratives, and they exaggerated. I mean, I'm just at this once again, and I'm agitated, aggravated, beyond irate, like let's exalt the king. But, hey, it's camaraderie that I recognize and rectifies fury right before your very eyes. Like Tupac said, you could never deny, but you can't see it either. Simultaneously, a paradox splitting the ether. Whatever the quantified essence is you want to believe. But I had to believe we're not just prophets and messiahs. We're beyond this with the desire. But we have the soul of God inside us like fires, eternally like the Kennedy plot. We're wired.
Hey, yo. We gotta stop this. We have to focus. This is too much. This is too much. Too much. Okay, look here. Okay. Let's take a second. Everybody breathe. Everybody breathe for a second. Okay. We are not in the business of working to prove that we know how to rap. Okay. But that was dope. That was. I ain't gonna lie, that was dope. Some people don't have the nerve. That's what I say about freestyling and ciphering. Some people don't have the nerve to just go straight off their brain. Right. And I definitely respect that. But see, Reed, what I want to know is, what's up with this SQ track you put together? What's that about?
The SQ track?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a whole track, me kind of like in the contest aspect. It said, Anno Domini. They started endorsing the contest, so I went into it with the idea that, yeah, sir. Yeah, and so I went into it.
I got like 2 or 3 tracks from them off of Beat Brokers and from Shadowville.
Man, they're dope. I love them, bro. But they provided a beat, and I basically had it mixed in my own software, and I put down my own lyrics, and I didn't really have a metric or a heuristic. I just put raw lyrics and poetry to it. So I didn't really customize too much on the syntax or the syllable arrangement with the timing, but I just went in kind of like with one verse uncut, and I just tried to synchronize it, or I did my best to line it up, you know, in the early days with the beat. But it was just basically my fury and my fire and just the anguish I was feeling at the time. I just like I couldn't take out anything on a physical basis because that always leads to legal problems. But it's just like you got to have music at the release, you know. So I basically had to just release a weird album and, you know, do this and that. And, like, I just got my, you know, like a lot of issues kind of through music. Then, so I was very thankful to have that. But I just put a lot of it into my own ingenuity.
But what's SQ stand for? What's the track SQ stand for?
SQ, it was originally specialized platform, but I changed it to SQ because I had to rename the file, and so I put it to SQ because I was like, I think it's going to change again. I'm not sure if I'm going to have to remaster it or edit it, so it's a question mark. So I just put Q.
That's an interesting way to title a track. I mean, I have that too. Like, where I have my producer where he creates a track and he titles the track something. And then when I get to the studio, he plays the track and we have, like, the vibe session. And then I create a song and I title the song. But when he sends me the track, he sends the track under the name that he titled it when he made it. You know what I'm saying? So I can dig that. You know, I dig that. But that's, you know, that's how it happens. That's how it happens, though. Like, when you're in the process of just like,
not everyone gets it the first time. So,
have you ever had that problem? Like, a lot of artists have, like, I don't know about yourself, but that's what I'm gonna ask. But have you ever had that problem where, like, you were in the process of just creating music, and then it was like, what are you gonna call it? And you're like, I didn't even think of a title.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
You just have all these words.
It kind of happens like that. Like, I feel like it comes to you. It's more spontaneous than you'd like it to be. It's more like feeling. Whenever you get a feeling or some type of impulse, you want to record it or something. I don't know. That's a scientist in me, but like, well, how do you feel? Is that normal or is that like not normal? Or, you know, so like to me, it correlates to different poetic forms or standpoints in life, and like I could just write about different stuff depending on not only what happened to me during the day, but like how I'm feeling about certain issues or, you know, my perspective and little nuances I can just trace over time. But I've had so many phones, honestly, that I've had thousands of notes and raps just go out because, you know, like my phone goes out. I've had like 5 or 6 phones, but that was back since 2008, back when I had the flip phones and stuff. And I was like in Washington, D.C., taking pictures of Smithsonian and everything. It was really cool, but I also saw those pictures too, you know. But
you gotta next time you come to Washington D.C., you should take a picture down Southeast.
Yeah, they were like, "Hey, are you from Texas?" I was like, "How'd you know?" It was like these 2 girls in the mall. They're like, "Are you from Texas?" I'm like, "What? What kind of question is that?" Just because of how I'm talking, you know? I was like, "What?" But yeah,
Have you ran into those like in your path thus far with like entertainment? Have you ran into those obstacles like where it felt like I don't want to say because, you know, it's a different era of entertainment, but so I don't want to say like ethnic barriers, but like language barriers, like cultural barriers, not cultural because of race, but cultural because of upbringing. Like being from Texas, I've lived in Texas, so I know how people are in Texas. But then, like, you go to do a show, like, on the East Coast or, like, you know, across the Mississippi, and then it's like, people are like, what? You know, have you ran into that yet?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I was up in North Carolina back in 2008, back in, you know, like my middle school years, honestly. It was about to be in high school, but that was back when I was in Honor Society taking trips with them in the bus, and I could go to Jamestown, Virginia, and see Richmond, Virginia, and like Thomas Jefferson's location, Monticello and everything in between. So, like, it was a great colonial excursion, but, I wasn't into really my writing phase yet. Like, I had a whole bunch of notes and everything, man, and I wish I could have saved it, but I ran into a lot of animosity in between here and there, from New Mexico, Arizona, all the way to North Carolina and Washington, D.C. I don't want to say animosity, but you could just tell that people are just, like, uptight because you're just different. But I think that's just how it is universally until people just accept you, or it's just a barrier implicitly. It's not always up front, but, you have to just learn how to get used to people. So I have a weird social anxiety as well. So for me, blending in, I can't really blend in, So, like, if I try to blend in, I don't know how it works out. But it just, like, I tried to talk to these people and just, like, be normal and, like, be nice.
Sex tape break.
I have the same thing, like, because of my physical stature. Most of the time when I go to venues, people think I'm, like, security or something. And then, so, like, when it's, like, my time to, like, take the stage, they're like, oh, shit. And it was like, nah, this is me, man. Like, I'm not security. I don't train people. I don't lift weights. I don't do none of that. I do entertainment, man. They're like, really? Like, yeah. Like, you're a very nice person. Like, I'm big. I have to be. Like, I can't walk in. I can't walk into a room and be like, have my week on my face. You know what I'm saying? I get, no, that don't work. That don't work. When you're a big person, you automatically have to walk in like extra calm with like the work smile. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like feigning it almost. But, just be nice to those people. And they should be nice to you. It's a social contract. But if they don't respect it, that's on them. And so, like, I mind my manners. I have the etiquette aspect, but I also know, like, other people don't always do that or fall into that category. So you just got to be wary. It's kind of like driving, you got to drive defensively, but you can't go cutting people off. You got to respect other lanes.
Do you feel like that applies to hip-hop?
In a way, I feel like it does. People can cut other people off and, like, strangle their revenue and steal their style. Maybe even cut them off in terms of lyrics, but it's kind of rare. You'd notice it'd be more like a beat or an apparatus to it than it would just, unless they were signed to somebody, then they could just stranglehold and, like, put, like, back in the dark, like, really fast, but